Hey gang, Spontimus Prime here for part 2. I'm sorry this video is a bit late, but Thanksgiving happened yesterday, so I do apologize about that, and happy late Thanksgiving, everybody. So, our first video on Divine Convocation was using Khosla the Broken Halo as the commander, so now what we're going to do, we're going to swap this up for part 2 by putting Khosla in the deck and running our other can't speak today, commander being used for the deck, which is Rim Corollas and Sink Trapped. And I just butchered all of that for all the Jeskai fans out there, but that's how I call it. So with that out of the way, let us get into the gameplay. Alrighty, so I've got the deck shuffled up here. We got Sink Trapped and Rim Corollas as our commanders, so now let us draw our hand of 7 cards and see how well this goes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So this is our hand. We have Migratory Root, Commander Sphere, Joyful Storm Sculptor, Command Tower, the Locust God, Plains, and Invasion of Segovia. I will reiterate that this is an upgraded pre-con gameplay test, so without further ado, let us draw our first card and begin. Alright, so I'm going to start this off by playing a Plains, and then I will pass the turn. Draw my card again. We're going to play a command tower. We're going to pay the command tower for blue in the Plains. We're going to cycle Migratory Root. For basic land cycling, discard this card, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Ooh, all the good cards at the bottom. No. Let's find a mountain real quick. Aha. There is the deck shuffled, went and fetched a mountain. So now that will just be this turn. So now we're going to untap, upkeep, nothing will trigger, draw. I'm going to play a mountain. Then I'm going to spend a mountain, an island from the command tower, and a Plains to cast our commander, Sink Trapped Rim Corollas. So that is all we're going to be able to do this turn. Let us pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Ooh, I don't like this. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to spend 3. We cast Commander Sphere. And then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn on this one. Might do a secondary gameplay on this to see how well it does the second go around. Or I just might do it off camera. Draw. Oh. Okay, now we're kicking. I'm going to spend 4, 1 colorless, and Jeskai. We're going to cast Whirlwind of Thought. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. Good thing I boosted it towards non-creature spells with Convoke. Alright, so now I will go ahead and pass the turn. So I will untap, upkeep, nothing will trigger, draw. No, I wish I was drawing lands. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, tapping the command tower for blue. I'm going to cast Invasion of Segovia. Since that is a non-creature spell, I shall draw a card. Oh, lovely. Yes, it is a land. Okay, and then when it enters the battlefield, I shall create a bunch of Krakens. When Invasion of Segovia enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue Kraken creature tokens with Trample. So those enter the battlefield. Let me check my hand for anything that can Convoke real quick. That would be a Negatory. So now I'm going to play my island as my land for turn. I'm going to spend a red and a blue, red off the command tower. I'm going to cast an Impact Tremors. Since that was a non-creature spell, I shall draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool, cool, cool. And then I'm going to attack the invasion with Sink Trapped and Rim Corollas, bringing it down, since he has 3 power, to 1. So that'll be this turn. I'll untap, Alright. Now I shall draw my card for turn. Cool, 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 cool. So I'm going to play a Terramorphic Expanse. Go ahead and cracking it. Gonna go grab another land. We'll go grab another mountain. If y'all are wondering what the background noise is, I've got a heater on and I have game nights playing on my TV. So we'll go on the battlefield tapped. Cool. Alright. So this is where it gets tricky. Alright, so let's see. We have 5 mana here. Cool. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to... Ooh, got the sniffles today. We're going to... Oh, I forgot. There should have been 2 of those. Yeah, we'll do the big die. So now we're going to spend 1, 2, 3. We're going to convoke out... No, we're not doing that just yet. Not doing that just yet. Alright, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to spend 5 mana. I'm going to cast a Joyful Storm Sculptor. When that enters the battlefield, I'm going to create 2 of those lovely blue and red elemental creature tokens. Where are they? There is one right here. I'm going to create 2 of those. Then my Impact Tremors is going to trigger, dealing 3 damage in total. Alright, go ahead and get this straightened up here. When you cast a spell that has Convoke, Joyful Storm Sculptor deals 1 damage to each opponent in each battle they protect. Okay. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and since this is the first time that he has been tapped this turn, I'm going to get a 1/1 red human. When it enters the battlefield, I'll immediately convoke out, or I'll immediately tap to convoke out a Shatter the Source. Since it is a non-creature spell, my Whirlwind of Thought will trigger, drawing me a card, but before that I have to choose one, and I will have Shatter the Source deal 6 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle, which will be the Invasion of Segovia. So it'll exile, and then it'll recast itself as Pt.2, Sea Tyrant of Segovia. Cool, since that was a spell that had Convoke, I will untap Saint Traft and Rim Corollas. And then Joyful Storm Sculptor will deal the 1. Pt.2 will have Impact Tremors deal 1 to each of my opponents. And now all of my lovely non-creature spells have Convoke. So, alright, so that will be this deck's turn. So now we're just going to untap. Go ahead and bring my tokens up here. Untap. Actually, on my end phase, I get to untap up to 4 creatures. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll untap. Untap. Upkeep. Nothing will trigger. Draw my card for turn. I shall now play a land for turn. Alrighty. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So what we're going to do here is we're going to spend 6 of the actual mana. Here we're going to cast the Locust God. When that enters the battlefield, 1 damage will be dealt to each one of my opponents. Alrighty. So now here is the fun part. Non-creature spells I have Convoke. I'm going to tap Saint Traft and Rim Corollas to convoke out a Swords to Plowshares. On cast, since he was tapped, I will get a lovely another human, 1/1 red human, Whirlwind of Thought will cause that to trigger. I shall draw a card, and then I shall get a lovely insect, if I can find it. There it is. When that enters the battlefield, I'll also deal 1 damage to each one of my opponents. And so will a human. Cool. Since that was a spell that also had Convoke, I will untap Saint Trapped and Rim Corollas. I will also... This Joyful Storm Sculptor will also deal 1 damage to each opponent in each battle they protect. Alright, I shall play my land for turn. Or no, I already played my land for turn. Alright, and this will be the last turn, I do believe. No, we got plenty of turns left. Okay. So, non-creature spells I cast have Convoke. Lovely. Oh, that's the soldier. I needed as the insect. There we are. Alright. So... one... No, I can't do any of that. Okay, so that'll be it for this turn. So we have 1 more turn to go. Wait, no, should have played my land for turn. Alright, so now we're going to draw our card for turn after untapping. I'm going to play a mountain as my land for turn. Okay, now I'm going to spend 4 mana. I'm going to cast a Keeper of the Accord when that enters the battlefield. Impact Tremors is going to happen, dealing 1 damage to each of my opponents. And then I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cast a Nadir Kraken. Alright. So, that's all I can do for this turn, and I shall pass. Untap, upkeep, nothing will trigger. I shall draw a card. Whenever I draw a card, I will pay the 1 off the Nadir Kraken. I will also get an insect. That'll get a +1/+1 counter. Where is the 1? There is the 1. What am I doing? I have actual counters for this. That'll get a +1/+1 counter. I said a +1/+1 counter. And then I'll create a lovely, lovely tentacle. And then when that enters the battlefield, Impact Tremors is going to happen again, dealing a damage to each one of my opponents. So now I shall play my land for turn, which is another mountain. Okay. So at this point, I think I can swing for game. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. No. Okay. So I will go to combat. I will attack you with a bunch of flyers, bunch of 1/1s, 1/1s, 1/1s. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8 damage heading your way. And since you will block, I'm going to Convoke out 1, 2, 3. I'm going to Convoke out a Devouring Light, exiling the blocking creature. On cast, since that was a non-creature spell, I shall draw a card, creating another one of these lovely insects. Impact Tremors is going to happen. Actually, I should explain what all goes on the stack here. Whenever I cast Devouring Light, Saint Trapped will go on the stack. Both triggers will go on the stack. Joyful Storm Sculptor will go on the stack. The Locust God will go on the stack. Alright, so I'm going to have it resolved with, I'm going to create the human first, then I'm going to untap, then the Joyful Storm I'll have the Locust God happen next, creating another one of those, so it's 3. Alrighty. So, now, since that was an oh yeah, Whirlwind of Thought, since that was an on-creature spell, I shall draw a card. And then I'll pay the 1, putting another +1/+1 counter on a Deer Kraken, creating me another lovely tentacle. Impact Tremors is going to happen, since that is the 3rd time. Cool. And then I'm going to spend, oh yeah, that'll resolve, doing its thingamajiggy. Alright, so now I will go to post-combat main phase. I will spend 3 mana. I will cast a Mist Meadow Vanisher. Alright, now I will go to my end phase. Catus the Sea Tyrant of Segovia will untap up to 4 of my lovely, lovely creatures. I will untap 1 of the Locusts and 1 of the humans. Alright, so now I shall pass the turn. I will untap everything. Actually, they took all the damage. Upkeep, upkeep, upkeep. Nothing triggers. I will draw my card for turn. Cool, I will play a Port Town as my land for turn. Alrighty. So here's what's going to happen. Do I have any white tapper taps? No, actually, since I drew my card, I'm going to tap the Commander Sphere to put another +1/+1 counter on the Deer Kraken, creating me another one of those lovely, lovely tentacles. I will also get another one of those insects because I drew a card. So that's 2 Impact Tremors triggers. I should have technically done a 3rd one on the Mist Meadow Vanisher, but I did not, so that is fine. Alright, so now I will tap my Mist Meadow. Whenever it becomes tapped, exile another target up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So I will exile the Joyful Storm Sculptor. I will tap Catus, Keeper of the Accord, Saint Traft and Rim Corollas. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will tap down 1 of my Kraken tokens to cast a Knight Errant of Eos. On cast, since that was a spell with Convoke, actually I'll get one of those, triggering the Impact Tremors again. Alright, so now that will untap. Yeah. That will enter the battlefield. Impact Tremors is going to happen. And then, when it enters the battlefield, I shall look at the top 6 cards of my library. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I may put, I reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, where X is the number of creatures that can vote Knight Errant of Eos. Put the revealed cards into your hands, then into your hand, and then shuffle. Okay, so I will put a Monastery Mentor in my hand, and I will shuffle my library. Alrighty, it is in my hand, and my deck is shuffled. So, now, I think we just swing for game here. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Plus 5, so it's 25, and that should be game. So how many Impact Tremors triggers did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, that should be game. So we're just going to go ahead and end this video here. So let us now get to our review of the two commanders. Alright, so we made it to the end of our gameplay test hands, our mock battles if you will. So, which one do I feel like did the best? Khosla did better in her game because of her advantage to give card advantage and can easily just instantly swing in for 5 commander. But that's not saying that Saint Traft and Rim Corollas can actually build you a bigger board state. Now, I did play 2 extra games off camera. One with Khosla and then one with Saint Traft. The first game that was caught on camera was better with Saint Traft. So, I personally feel like that Khosla did a better job being the lead singer of this deck than Saint Traft and Rim Corollas did. Yes, he can give you a bigger board state, but how are you supposed to get a bigger board state when you ain't drawing no cards that Khosla gives you? So, if you do want to buy this deck, I'm pretty sure I still see it hanging around Walmarts and Targets. So, if you ever do buy this deck, do run Khosla as the commander, or if you're like some other random chaos people, why don't you run Kaikar? Because Kaikar is a very, very valid option for this deck. Because whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying, and that is every time you cast a non-creature spell. Sacrifice a spirit, add red mana, which I feel like is actually really, really good for the deck. But this gameplay wasn't about him, so it was about these two. Again, run Khosla if you want to. It is the more viable commander to run out of the box. But if you want to, boost the deck up with some card draw, and you've got a really good commander sitting right here. So that is pretty much all that there is to say here about this deck. Be sure to subscribe for my next video. My next video will be over. Give me 1 second here. My next video will be over Faldorn, Dreadwolf Herald. My next video will be over the Faldorn Dreadwolf Herald deck, and we're going to be using the commander background combo with the basic Faldorn combo wombo. So be sure you subscribe for that, and let me know what you think in the comments down here in the video. So let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and that just happened. And yeah, this is Sponsormus Prime signing out, and I will see y'all in the next video.